we're kind of back. I think we're still missing Thor, but that's okay.
Yeah. Who needs Thor?
I guess he's here. All right. So once again, I'd just like to add, go watch Deep Black. It's on the YouTube right now. Check that out. So good. And we're back. So I think that what we get is a scene where Freki is in the house of Bertie Halldóttir, speaking to Olaf Olafsson quietly, and Bertie overhears their conversation towards the end, and Freki's like got his hand on Olaf Olafsson's shoulder and says, "I'm going to need men around here like you, on my side soon. I have deep pockets and can provide you much influence and protection. I know that the war was hard for you, but those times are gone as long as you stick with me. You know that when I arrived, I brought back great wealth, and the village has done well since I have arrived. Olaf Olafsson, will you serve me?" And Olaf Olafsson says, "I need to talk to my wife. I forget what my accent sounds like. But, yeah, let me go talk to my wife. I'll see what she has to say." And
Alright.
Freki is like, "Very well then. Ah, ah, ah." And you hear the front door closing, and Olaf Olafsson comes into the room and says, "Bertie Halldóttir. It is I, Olaf Olafsson, great warrior, the giant." And then he puts his hands on his belt and says, "What's this I hear about my son growing in size when he sees Gurney the child? How did you do with him falling down a crevice?"
Well, Gurney was there. That is something that you and I must have a talk about. Gurney, she is trouble. She was staring at our son at the bottom of a ravine for over an hour without helping him. What's Grimm's son that saw it?
Sigurd.
Sigurd Grimson.
Sigurdur. Sigurdur saw her, and I suspect she was either rolling the bones or perhaps something more malicious. But
What would you have her do?
I
From what
dig-
I understand, you had to leap down there yourself and carry him on your shoulders. How could you expect a poor, frail child like Gurney to do such a thing?
And how is it that
You,
Gurney
but when
came
you,
to be there?
when he says that, you can see him rubbing the scar where Thora stabbed him in his back.
Okay. How is it that Gurney came to be alongside two children playing at the bottom and not going to get help?
He says you would
Wh-
have to ask her.
Exactly. She is troubling, but not the topic of our conversation. Our son was playing and fell down the well, and I gave him a stern talking to about how he should be playing more carefully. He has perhaps not the most deft reflexes for this sort of thing, but he should
How
still
dare
work
you
on it.
say something like that? He's been carrying my Dane axe since he was 7.
Yes,
One day he will be Huskarl, like his father.
we have had this talk many times, and as I recall in my email that I sent you, you are not worried about him becoming Huskarl now that you have two other sons. It is quite clear that Horky will be taking over as Huskarl in this
No,
house.
no. He will be a Huskarl as well. There are
Uh,
men who are Huskarls and weaponsmiths.
then perhaps he will, my husband. Perhaps he will.
I know that you believe he should become a full-time smith, but have you seen him carry the Dane axe since he was 7? None of my other children have managed to do that yet. I hope that they will, and at least one of them brags to me. But it has not happened yet. Only Olaf Olafsson Jr., who carries the name of my father, and his father, will be a Huskarl. The other children, maybe they are a Huskarl. He is definitely a Huskarl.
Perhaps,
Woman,
perhaps.
what would you know of a man's affairs?
And this is where I will attempt to talk sense.
Let's hear what sense you're talking.
Oof, not
Oof.
much.
What are you saying to him?
So at this point, I would be trying to tell him how there is nothing, there is there is great promise in his talent, and that it would be truly great if he could craft something for the family. But then, of course, that falls flat.
Yeah, he says,
So the idea is that he could make a great weapon that his father or brothers could wield in battle.
while you say something like that, he slams his fist on the table and says, "A great weapon? I will not have him smithing. He will turn out like Meckley. You remember Meckley, once a great warrior who was one of my own Huskarl's men. And now he sits about, wearing women's clothing and forging things, making stuff. They say he's apprenticed to a skald at 30. 30. Most men are done apprenticing at the age of 14.
Meckley is not the one leading our son. You are. And if you want him to be a Huskarl, he will be the finest Huskarl this town has seen since you led a Vikinging. And
You said
and
that very well. Every part of that pleases me. Olaf said.
and I do that intently because I am not going and refuse to roleplay this, but I am going to attempt to distract him by enticing him.
Of course, roll plus young.
And I am not ever going to roleplay that out. That is an 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, you will hold 3 hold.
Yeah, and so I am going to...
You did just roleplay it out right there. That was enticing a man when you were like, he's gonna be just like you.
Right, so...
Exactly what Olaf Olafsson wants to hear. My son's a Huskarl? Yeah!
So, I have 3 hold, and so I am going to get him to... I'm going to spend 1 now to truthfully answer my questions.
Okay. Make sure
And-
you mark down your relationship.
Yeah, true. So that doesn't count towards my check marks because I don't have a relationship with my husband, right?
Don't you?
No, I don't. I picked one with my son.
Oh, okay. Well, then no, you don't get it.
Yeah, so I don't get a check with him. I should have picked I love them and then enticed him. But because I only realized halfway through the session that he's about the only man I can entice, it's not working out so well. So I'll
That's
have
not
to
entirely true. You can entice other men. It just may cause some problems down the line.
Well, yeah, there's
There's a lot of definitions of enticement, gentlemen. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything that would compromise your marriage.
right. So okay, so that's good to know. But right now, the questions that I'm asking is since I overheard the conversation, and it says questions, I want to know what Frecky has been trying to get him to do, and
So, the
why
way this
Frecky
works-
is trying to do
The
it.
way this works, you're not asking the character. You're not asking the player. You're specifically asking the character, which means you need to phrase it in universe. So, are you saying something like, "I want to know what you were speaking of with Becky"?
No, so I would phrase it like, Gurney, I am concerned about, but I am worried that she and Frecky are in it together, as one would expect of a husband and wife. Have you heard anything about what Frecky intends for the future of the town
He says,
and
"I was
perhaps
just
our
speaking
family?
with Frecky but a moment ago. I think he has great plans for our family. Said something about wanting to provide patronage for me and for my sons. I should speak with you on this matter. How would you feel about pledging ourselves to Frecky? He may start spending more time in town, is what he said. He might become a very influential man on top of what he already is. Perhaps not enough to rival the Gothi, but certainly more than Grim Ulfson."
Certainly you can't be serious. Gurney has been nothing but trouble. How can you now not think that she was behind all of the trouble so many years ago? Has not Baldur told you about her? Has she not revealed herself to be nothing but as cunning and
None of those things that you speak of have happened.
I think perhaps this is something you should speak with Baldur about. He he should know who his most trusted Huskarl is thinking about pledging to.
I am currently pledged to Grim Ulfson. He is the man.
As I say, this is a matter for the town, and I am more interested in.
It is a matter for men. I am the man. I make the decision, and I am asking you for your input here, wife. You are now telling me to let strangers pick the fate of our family.
I will always side with Hildred. She has shown herself to be true in my eyes, and I trust her. Grim is a man. He is wont to get distracted by things like work and lumber and your men and your honor, but they have the best interests of us and our town. We are tightly tied to them already. I think it is best that we stay tied to them.
Can you roll plus first?
Yep.
Because it sounds to me like... Oh, wait.
Boom.
Let me
8
ask.
First.
I think one of these is going to be true. Are you talking sense, or are you trying to goad him into action? The action in this case be stay with Grim Ulfson. Pledgee.
So I'm not sure how you want to think about that, but I think it's talking sense.
It's how you are doing
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
if you believe it's talking sense, let's
It's
look at
it's talking sense because I'm not goading him. I think is a little different.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
this is they're having a conversation and he's specifically asking her opinion, so it's sense.
That's exactly what he did. Okay. So, when he acts towards siding with Hildred, and to a lesser extent, Grim, although you are kind of like, Grim, all he does is talk about man stuff and chop down trees.
Right.
But when he sides with Hildred, and to a lesser extent Grim, he will get a bonus. So
And I get a hold on Olaf too, right? For
Yep.
talking sense.
Yep.
All right. Racking up the holds.
But you just
And-
spent the hold because you gave him advice.
No.
Is that how that
giving
works?
advice is a move.
Right. You gave him advice, right?
So you
When
can
you
spend
raise your voice, hold on. Raising your voice and talking sense is rolling verse. That's a female move.
Yes.
I spent one hold to hold on, where is it? It's getting him to answer your questions.
Right. When you roll a new move with more hold, you erase your old hold. And you can only spend that hold on the move you just rolled on.
So it does say spend your hold 1 for 1 to give advice on favorable course of action or warnings against
Right.
course of
You
action.
gave him advice during that talk.
Okay. So I'm confused as to what my hold is with Olaf Senior now.
Currently 0. You basically spent the hold as part of your move.
But I had 3 hold because I rolled really well previously on Entice a Man.
Right. Okay, so you spent one of the hold there to get him
Right.
to answer truthfully. When you roll a new move with hold, you erase your old hold.
Okay.
Because the
So
hold
I haven't. Okay.
only applies to the move you're currently rolling on. You can't keep hold.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you kept it. All right. That makes sense. Sorry.
Otherwise, you could end up with a shit ton of hold and then just be like, now I give out 10 megabuck millions worth of goats.
Okay. Yeah. So in that conversation, I enticed him and he answered my questions.
Yep.
And then in the second conversation,
You raised
I
your voice
convinced
and talked
him,
sense, and then you
and
gave him
then I
advice.
spent the hold for the advice to tell him to stay with Grimm's family.
Yep. The
I'm with you.
Odisons. Okay.
All right. I like it.
All right. You have rapidly altered the fate of the village with that roll right there, sir.
So does that
madam.
mean, just so that I'm clear, the hold that I had gained with Olaf Jr. is also gone, right?
Yes.
Because that was teaching him how to stay away from crevasses. All right, cool. Very important skill for burgeoning Nords.
He's not a Nord. He didn't come up and be like, "Where is Jarl Baldur Odinson?
All right.
Ulfric Stormcloak."
There actually could be a lot of Jarls here at the time that fled because of, well, they were on the losing side. There's plenty of Jarls here in Iceland at this time.
All right.
Their title just doesn't mean anything, but people still call them Jarl.
That makes
Well,
sense.
at least, you know, people that respect them. I suppose people that don't respect them call them asshole or something like that.
To that prick on the throne over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
every good Imperial knows that song.
Arthur,
Yes.
before I pick up my lumber tonight, I would like to actually stop off and talk to Baldur.
Yeah, it's only
J-
afternoon. Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, at some point, I don't know how the narration is going to go.
No, we'll have that happen right now. I think that the discussion between man and wife is done here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Correct?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, Bertie is interested in talking to Baldur too, but the coincidence and timing is sort of whenever.
I think we'll do one after another. So we do the
Yep.
Star Wars side swipe, where there's one scene and then the other scene comes forward, and it's Grim speaking with Baldur. Baldur, where are you in the afternoon?
Well, probably in the afternoon, I'll probably still be at my house. Wait until the evening to go to evening or morning, depending on time of the year, for prayers at the temple. I don't really seem to have to do much around here, so I'm just chilling at my house and drinking.
Fantastic words of a leader. I don't really have to do anything for like a couple of months, so I'm just going to drink at my house.
Yep.
I love how we placed the faith in the village in Baldur.
Yeah.
Some harsh fucking words right there. I'm glad he can't hear you through the fourth wall.
So I track him down at some point, knock on his door, enter, and I am troubled, and I say as much to Baldur.
Oh.
Baldur,
Have a seat. Have
I-
something to drink.
it's too early in the day for wine, I'm afraid. I must get back to the fields before sundown, but I wanted to speak with you of something.
Oh,
I,
of course. I am
there's-
always here for you.
Frecky is a troubling man. He claims he wishes to be friends to the village, but yet I don't know. He unnerves me. Maybe it's his funny laugh. I cannot place my finger on it.
Oh, like in slow motion, you hear his laugh in the background. You're having flashbacks.
Well,
I recently did business with him, and he gave me an amazing deal. He offered me
yes.
lumber for lumber, actually, and more of it. I have a feeling I will come out the better 3 times over. Normally, I do not do this kind of business. I do not. I am not well versed in how one does trades, but something tells me you do not pay for a relatively expensive thing with something that is worth so much more, and certainly not to me. I am in the business of lumber, but it's there are many towns he could potentially stop along. Why would he make this deal with me? I feel as if he's going to entrap me somehow. What would you suggest?
I must say that after our conversation today, I am starting to have my doubts about him. I share your feelings. He seems to be very. He seems to be leaning towards Harald, the fair-haired, in Norway, and wants to bring their ways over here. I
Are you
think he
telling me
might-
I just made a deal with the King of Norway?
No, you just made a deal with Freki, but I think he might be trying to buy friends, so to speak.
He has this over my head now, doesn't he? What should I do?
The deal has already
Wow.
been made.
I don't want to break this up, but Holy fuck, man. Talk about, like, the T-ball pitch right there. You're like, could you please maybe give me some elderly advice? Holy fuck, nice one, man. Okay,
Mhm.
go back to the scene. I
He
feel like
is
the
my
director
elder.
just fucked it up.
Yes. It would be dishonorable to go back on your deal, unless, of course, that is not as he has claimed. But if he delivers as promised, I'm afraid you are stuck with the deal, and I believe some fault may lie with me for not having seen this sooner. He was already talking about Harold earlier this day. Hmm. I think that you should be very, very careful in all your dealings with him. Be very
That is
careful in what you say.
that
I
is good
think
advice. I believe you are correct. I think no
mm,
matter who is offering, if we take a deal that is good for our people, then there is no dishonor in that.
there is no dishonor in that. You must not let him goad you into anything irrational just because he has been kind. He has not given you anything. That was a trade that he
That
made.
is true. A bad trade for him, yes. We shall see how it plays out for me.
I am sure he has something up his sleeve, so to speak. But whatever you do, don't let him hold it over you. You are you are a wise and honorable man, and I am certain that you will be come out of this well. But his actions are troublesome. We should probably talk more on this. Find out what exactly he intends. I am worried that he is going to bring the rest of Norway with him the next time he comes back.
Well,
I think you can mark a check there for giving some advice.
yep. I am going to hold my own bond with Baldur. I have a feeling I may need it later. So, well, thank you for your advice, Baldur. I will see about my business and return to the fields.
Anytime. I will come and visit you sometime in the near future and see how it goes. I hear you have just got some material as well for a new smithy.
I did
That's,
indeed. Hopefully, I can begin turning out profitable wares for this town.
it would be good. I hear Olaf Olafsson's son, Olaf Olafsson, is planning on becoming a smith. It would be
He is
good if
indeed. I have already approached him about apprenticing within my smith
it is
workshop.
very good. It would be good if he could do it in this town rather than having to go somewhere else and
No
work
reason for
elsewhere.
another town to profit from the hard work of our people.
Exactly. I am very, very grateful for your hard work in building this. I
As
am going.
always, I live to serve my family and my town. Thank you, Baldur. I will be on my way. I'm sure you're very busy. And he gives a glance down at the glass as he leaves.
Yes, very
Uh,
busy.
and
Well,
exits.
I'll
In
be
the
busy
reflection
tonight.
of the glass, you see Bertie Halledotter approaching.
I give a nod to Bertie and continue on my way.
Bertie will, yeah, provide some light and smiling commentary on the state of the world and then continue on.
I thought you wanted to see Baldur.
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, we're passing
Oh,
each
you were
other.
talking to Grim.
There's
Okay.
there's
Grim.
pleasantries being exchanged. Grim nods at every single one of them and then wanders off to continue in the field.
Chop some wood down.
Chop some wood, maybe
Put
some.
the bark side up.
Yep, bark side
Right.
up.
Bark side up,
Piece of
man.
shit.
We can't let those bark
Hashtag
side
bark
down
side
bastards.
up.
Can't let those bark side down bastards come and take our land,
Bark
take our
side.
gerbs.
What's that Doctor Who thing? Where they got the butter side up and butter side down. Yeah, dog.
Isn't that a Dr. Seuss?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a Dr. Seuss thing.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, Birdie, Baldur, you're together.
All right.
Maybe you should entice the man.
Yeah,
Did
what's
you bring
up?
any wine with you?
Yeah, right.
I just have this brand new French woman who is an expert in wines. Maybe that would be excellent.
You haven't bought her yet, man.
Yeah, she's on
I
the ship.
did.
Did you pay for her?
You
Yeah.
agreed, did you?
yeah,
I
I-
agree.
I was under the impression that the ship is arriving tonight, and all the things that we're
Yeah.
agreeing to buy are on that ship.
Okay, then I don't have her, but I already paid for her.
Oh, well, then I guess you
marked
do
off.
have her. All right, well, you got her.
Yep.
Yeah, you spent your silver. You've got a woman.
Yep. Knows a lot about wine and is hopefully well cultured and hopefully willing to tell me everything about what a certain person has been doing.
She is very vociferous in telling you everything you want to know about wine in French.
oh,
Excellent.
damn.
That's that's okay.
Sorry, that's just amazing.
Icelandic isn't that hard to learn. Don't worry, she'll get it in
What's the
10
name of that
years.
volcano again?
Eyjafjallajökull.
Of course.
Christ.
I
Hey, if-
apologize that we're laughing at your language, but that one is hard as fuck, man.
Yep.
That's an art form to say that word, man. That's crazy.
Hey, Bertie has learned it, and the French woman will learn it eventually, and things will be fine.
Yeah.
We'll get
You
some
know-
culture into the village, some French culture.
That's right. We'll have Grey Poupon on our Viking raids.
Well, she can help pick out the most profitable bottles of wine in whatever coastal towns of Ireland you run across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, they're connoisseurs.
Of wine.
French wine. Yeah, of course. That potato wine.
It would be
I
even
think-
better if she was an Irish connoisseur of whiskey and she just convinced the town that it was like the fine wine of Ireland.
She
Fine
just
Irish
starts sipping
wine.
from every whiskey. It's like a fine peaty bog in it.
I just realized that I need to find somebody that I need to like find somebody like maybe a slave merchant who just to sell me an interpreter. I can actually use the last slave I just bought.
Yeah.
Turns out
Like-
buying a regular slave's pretty cheap.
But a regular
Gone.
slave isn't going to speak French now, is it?
Costs yeah, to get a French-speaking slave, it probably will cost you a handful of silver or more.
Yeah, no, I need somebody. Well, we can teach her English. That's easier. I imagine I've picked up a few words on my raids, and I could.
I have a feeling back in like 900, the French and the English didn't really get along. I'm not entirely
No.
sure
Yeah,
teaching her
you-
English is going to be a good plan.
Well, let's see. In the 900s, actually, I don't think they got along that poorly in the 900s. In the 900s, it was
Yeah,
mostly
No,
they were
hated
too
each
busy.
other
They were too
forever.
busy getting raided by Icelandic, Norwegian, Danish people to care that much about the French.
You know,
Is the
there's
Roman
no
Empire-
other place in the world where people are like, yeah, man, they had a war that lasted, 1, 2, maybe 10 years. Go to England and France, you're like, what the fuck, 100 years?
Yeah.
You guys must really hate each other.
They were always at war. And the funny thing is, the French won more of them than the British, and yet we always laugh
whoa. Let's keep back on the subject matter at hand.
at
As we all
People
know,
always
French
laugh
people are
at-
cowards who can't make fries correctly, and
and won more
Osama bin
wars
Laden
than any
will
other
win.
country in Europe. Since, Anywho.
They drive in circles.
Well, so do the British, actually.
Actually, so do people in Delaware. Traffic circles are super popular.
It's like the only state that has them too, and they're everywhere.
I don't know. Maryland's starting to adopt them.
Is it Delaware or is it New Jersey? I thought New Jersey had them.
Jersey has them too.
Okay.
I have.
I didn't
This
know
is
Delaware had
completely
them.
off topic, but a friend of mine's a civil engineer, and she loves them.
Oh, really?
She'll explain to you exactly why they are
Yeah.
amazing inventions
love
of traffic control. But that is not even remotely relevant to Icelandic culture in 900
know.
AD. So
I feel like we should come back to Bertie
should make-
and
Should make some horse circles here.
That's
yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Which child of ours is going to invent the horse circle or the Vikinging boat circle, the first
Oh, yeah,
clover
the-
leaf?
the Viking boat circle where we
I don't
circle
know that
around.
the Vikings ever had enough boats and objects that travel around that they needed to be like, I feel like we should drive this boat in a circle around this object.
Well, maybe that's our failing as players for not
Hey,
having enough
Arthur.
Huskarls going Viking every freaking summer.
And that's the story of how Olaf Olafsson Jr. invented the ghost ride. Because he hung off the side of the boat as it went in a circle.
This is my whip, yo. Spinning it. Fucking, I put shields on the side, spin our family crest as you row.
That's actually fucking hilarious. Imagine, like, chrome tinted shields, and they just, like, rotate them.
It's just Olaf's axe. It's a big Dane axe on a shield, and it's like got a gold blade and like silver trim, and it's just flashing around the outside. Oh
The
yeah.
ship is rocking up and down with the waves.
Yep.
Alright, yeah. Man, we're so far off course right now.
We're a little far off, yeah.
Goat joke right there.
But we have long-term aspirations for some of our characters now, and that's important.
Yeah, Baldur and Bertie, what's happening with your conversation here? Talking about Frecky and trusting him.
That's exactly what we're talking about. We are talking about Frecky and Birdie. I am
You mean
concerned.
Gurney?
Gurney,
Bring more
God,
news?
man, wow. It's like chronic
More
at this
news of
point.
Reki? I've been hearing a lot about him today.
I am concerned, twofold, in fact. Gurney spent some time staring down a ditch at my son, not offering him suture or aid when he was laying at the bottom, potentially enduring grave harm. Instead, she stood there, and Sigurdsson? Did I get that one right? Sigurd?
Sigurd Grimson.
Sigurd Grimson saw her muttering and toying with her herbs and perhaps bag of bones. I do not think she had his best intentions at heart. She was drawing a blade when she left us. It is most concerning to me. What do you think of this?
Well, I can tell you things about Gurney. I have known her for some time, and she is an interesting person. One that she seems very off. She does not seem to think like the rest of us. I believe she has been touched in some way. I don't think she quite sees things like the rest of us do, which can make her unpredictable. Sometimes useful. She has helped to this town, but she has also brought danger to us.
Yeah, you're kind of one to talk there.
How do I
am
start a three-way war?
I am, as I have no actual evidence as to that it was indeed her that did that.
That was
Baldur
you.
still-
You did it.
Yep, that was
It was
me.
your plan all along, remember?
It was my plan all along. Well, honestly, I can say that I am not sure whether she brings more good or harm to the village. What concerns me more at this particular moment is Freki. And I am very certain she has a way with people. If she wants Freki to do something, he will do it.
I am glad you are concerned. I am also worried about her. And I think they are working together. Just this afternoon, Frecky was talking to my husband. And
Olaf, my good friend.
yes, and as you know, Grim is fairly new, but he has been here some time now, and he has been nothing but helpful. His family and
yes.
I, and particularly his wife and I, have grown very close. I believe them to be trusted allies. But
I
just
admire him greatly. Yes.
I am glad to hear that reaffirmed because there seems to be much change on the wind, and I do not like it. Frecky was counseling Olaf to pledge his allegiance to Frecky instead of Grim, and I do not like this. I do not want closer ties to that witch gurney.
No.
What should we do?
Why are all of Ben's characters haters?
Well,
Good question, Ben.
that is an interesting question. We've both known Olaf a very long time. He is a good man, but he is stubborn. I think if you can get him to talk to me, maybe we can convince him that this is not a good thing. I fear that too much change at the moment would be bad. I am.
So I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to attempt to goad Baldur to talk to Olaf himself.
Oh shit! Tell me how you do it.
So
I've already said that I'm going to talk to him myself.
Well, you just said you wanted me to talk to him.
Basically, you say to Olaf, "Come and talk to Baldur. He wants to talk to you."
Why you gotta take his role from him, man?
Yeah, don't do
Okay.
that.
Go do your role, man.
I'm going to attempt to convince you that this is something that you can do better and that you should do it as soon as possible. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think that
I
you
should do it immediately.
you should try and do it as soon as possible. And that's going to fail horribly. That's a 5 ungendered.
Oh, Bertie, yes.
So yeah.
You've always been quite strange for a woman, but I'm not entirely certain how I would respond to this. Believe me, I will
tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I will talk to him. Don't you worry, but you must leave the timing to me. I have known him longer than you. This is a thing for us men to discuss, and we will not be able to do it until the time is correct. Maybe if you could make sure he's not quite so drunk tomorrow, then it is easier to make him see sense.
I like this off-screen reputation that retired Olaf is developing. Like instead of going golfing, retired Vikings apparently just drink themselves blind.
That sounds about right. Yes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah.
And no,
So,
he said he's retired, man. He's still who's scarling it up.
oh yeah, I know, but
yes,
the
you go
official
and do
PC, right?
do your womanly duties and make sure he gets plenty of things that take the alcohol out of his system and make it easier to talk to him.
I will make
Then
sure
send him
he is tired but wide-eyed when he comes to see you.
This is
And
not. This
and
whole
very
series is one I would not want someone to start watching midway through.
and then
So-
with a little smirk I say, and make sure he's in a very happy mood tomorrow morning. Yes.
And so she's this beaming, wonderful person, and I think she's going to laugh and take a friendly slap on the shoulder with you, because she's treading, on these gender roles not very well. So she's doing some buddy stuff here.
Bertie
And-
Howell's daughter, Mr. Rogers of Iceland.
Right, exactly. And she's going to sort of lean over next to you and sort of say, "Well, if you need me to teach that new girl of yours a thing or two, well, I'm the best one in town." And so I'm going to attempt to entice him.
Into what?
So I think I'm trying to entice him that she's basically trying to show that she does have this